Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On July 29th, 6 baseball greats were inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. One of those inductees hailed from St. Paul, and he was welcomed by 2 Hall of Famers who also grew up in St. Paul. On the field this evening, we have around 300 youth baseball players from Matamidi and Highland Park in St. Paul who are here to congratulate Jack and also represent one thing, the dream of a kid. The next Minnesota Hall of Fame player could be sitting on the target field outfield right now. It's a dream, but for 3 St. Paul baseball players, a dream where hard work and dedication was made a reality.
To have 3 guys relatively, maybe 5 years apart at the most, with Dave being the oldest, to all be enshrined in Cooperstown. I think we all feel that's a pretty special trio to be a part of.
Mother would have said, who would have thunk it years and years ago that 3 kids from St. Paul, Minnesota would play baseball, have great careers, All-Star game, Hall of Fame. Finding something that we loved at an early age and the game loved us back.
Winfield, Molitor, Morris. 3 men forever linked. They began as local St. Paul legends, playing in various parks and playgrounds. Three Hall of Famers born within 5 years and a few miles of each other. And it all started on youth ball fields in St. Paul, where their baseball dreams started and today continues for young boys and girls. They took their talents to the University of Minnesota and BYU. They were drafted and went places like San Diego, New York, Detroit, and Milwaukee. In 1985, they returned as All-Stars at the 1985 All-Star Game at the Metrodome. Then, in the 90s, they returned to Minnesota and continued their careers with the Twins.
Pitches his first shutout as a Minnesota Twin.
That's a drive that will not be caught.
39 in a row. How about that? That is something.
Wilson said he wouldn't know till tomorrow. Reducing the likelihood of a Game 7 somewhat. Oh, and the 3-2 to Winfield. Down the line, a base hit. Into the left field corner.
Lights go out on Game 1 in San Diego. Jack Morris goes all the way.
Never forget where you come from, and we will always remember these 3 boys from St. Paul as examples of living your childhood dream and achieving greatness. Power, instinct, drive. Winfield, Molitor, Morris, Hall of Fame.
We are honored to have the 3 St. Paul Hall of Famers with us this evening. Inducted in 2001 with Kirby Puckett, he was a 12-time All-Star selection who had over 3,000 hits, 465 home runs, and over 1,800 RBI. He is the only athlete in history to be drafted by 4 different leagues, and when he chose baseball, he didn't spend a day in the minor leagues. Please welcome back to Target Field, Dave Winfield. Inducted 3 years later, he was only the 3rd player ever with at least 3,000 hits, 600 doubles, and 500 stolen bases. An aggressive base runner who took the extra base, including being the first player to triple for their 3,000th hit. We are also proud to call him our manager. Please welcome Paul Molitor. The third member of this illustrious group played in Minnesota for one season. But what a memorable season it was.
This is a long-time dream for me, and if I get a little emotional, excuse me, because I think every kid grows up to dream about this kind of moment.
Decided to offer him what I believe is the very first player option ever, where if he thought he could do better after a year, he could go, but we were still willing to commit to 3, and I think it was probably the greatest one-year signing in the history of baseball. We signed Jack Morris, we get rings.
A durable guy like he was, somebody you can count on, that's big for any ball club. So again, he made everybody better, no question.
I think respect is something you earn, and you have to do it in your own way. And I think you have to really, the best way to earn respect is to show them on the field what you're capable of doing.
Well, if you ever had a game where the health and well-being of your family was at stake and you had to have somebody pitch that game, I'd ask Jack Morris to pitch it.
He was always respected, and the word would always go around the clubhouse, Jack Morris is pitching, so you knew you had to be ready.
Tremendously competitive on the day he pitched. But even when he wasn't slated to start a game, he was one of those starting pitchers, very active in the dugout, involved every pitch, every day, every game. And, you know, I think he has one of those type of personalities that can really permeate through a clubhouse because he knows how to win.
He was coming hard at you, and he had a great fastball and a split finger and he was just one of the dominant pitchers in the league. So you had to be on your toes. You had to be ready to face him.
Was when he walked down to the bullpen to warm up for the game. The crowd just got so amped up and fired up. I'll never forget that. That was a special moment.
Knocks it down. Good play.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2018 Hall of Fame inductee, Jack Morris. Fans, your St. Paul Hall of Famers. Before we hear from Jack, direct your attention to the third baseline for some special guests. First, as we celebrate St. Paul, we are grateful to have with us the mayor of St. Paul, Melvin Carter, and two of Jack's former big league coaches, third base coach for the 1991 World Series team and current Tigers manager, Ron Gardenhire, and Jack's Twins manager in 1991, Tom Kelly. Now let's go to the podium and hear from Jack Morris.
Sorry about that, Danny. He's next to TK. I want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight to support my friend and his team, our team, the Minnesota Twins. As you may have followed the last few weeks, I've been a busy guy. And I don't know how much more love a guy can accept, but I'm doing my best, and it's been a fun ride. Before I really get going here, I want to thank a bunch of people. Dave St. Peter, the Pohlad family, for everything you've done for me and my family. You've really made it special for me. I appreciate it. To my locker mate, third base coach, and now the guy that's probably going to shed some tears while I speak, Ron Gardner. I want to thank all the youth baseball players behind me for coming. My local team, the Montemita group, are over here. My son's teammates are out here. Maybe there's a Hall of Famer on the field, hoping that someday they'd get their chance. I've had so many great memories in baseball, but I'll never ever forget being able to come home and put on a Twins uniform like my two good friends sitting next to me right now. I think all of us at one point dream of coming back home and playing for the team that we grew up wanting to be like. For me, it was guys like Killebrew and Oliva, Cott, and so many more that just really inspired me, made me want to play the game. I only played in this city 1 year, and I think it's pretty well documented it was a pretty good year. But I have to let you know, in case you haven't heard it, Tom Kelly gave me a chance to do something special in Game 7 of the World Series. He let me go back out. He put his faith and trust in me when he had a great pitcher out there named Rick Aguilera ready to go. So, Aggie, if you're watching, I want you to know I really do believe you could have got it done. I just didn't want to give you the chance. During the course of that game, it was a very emotional time for everyone involved. I watched the fans, you fans, absolutely spent with emotion and cheering for your hometown team. I fed off of that. You were an inspiration to me. I looked up there as, that's me up there. I'm them. I'm a fan. I'm from Minnesota. And you inspired me more than you can even imagine to go out and pitch probably the best performance of my career. I will always be grateful for your support for the wonderful year we had in '91. I want to thank all my teammates. Dan Gladden, one of my best friends, is here on the field. Kent Herbeck, local guy. Obviously, Kirby Puckett was a dream to be around. He made it fun for all of us. But more importantly, those relationships, they last a lifetime. And you fans have always been gracious to all of us in reminding us what that year meant to you. To the current Twins players, nothing but the best for you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Same with the Tiger players. People ask me all the time, Jack, when these two teams play each other, who do you cheer for? I got a simple answer: whoever wins. Can't lose that way, right? I just want to again thank you, all of you, for being here tonight to share this with us. My family is here again, third time in a month. I think they're going to hang in there with me. They don't seem to be totally tired, so maybe we'll get to do this one more time. Thanks so much.